The Madison Square Garden is the oldest arena in the NBA. At one point, it was the oldest in the NHL too. Michael Jordan considered the Madison Square Garden to be the mecca of basketball. It's so well known that it calls itself the world's most famous arena. And in the winter of 2023, I had the chance to go to not one, but two games at this majestical palace. So hop onto your favorite train, because we're going to Midtown. This is actually the fourth Madison Square Garden. The first two were located near Madison Square. And the third one was a bit north, closer to Times Square. In 1968, this fourth one was built right on top of Penn Station, which makes it very convenient to reach by train. The first game I went to was a Knicks game, and I was immediately surprised at how spacious these hallways were in the lower bowl. The Garden has had several renovations over its lifetime that probably modernized these hallways. I really liked how the top of some of these walls showed key moments from the Garden's history. Even if some of these moments weren't really that significant in the long run. Unfortunately, I did not get a picture of the hot dogs or their prices, so I'm not sure how much a hot dog costs. But I did get a picture of a burger's price. And at $13, it's on par with burgers at other arenas. Of course, they had more upscale eating options as well, like this sushi stand, which you typically don't see at a sporting event. And I thought the popcorn was a bit high at $14. But I'm not much of a popcorn guy, and I don't pay attention to popcorn prices, so maybe that's a usual price. Speaking of prices, I am shocked that the food prices were not higher, because the ticket prices were outrageously expensive. I paid around $200 for each of these games, and I still sat super high up. To get to my seat, I took an escalator, which I liked. The hallways on the upper levels were a little more crowded, but I liked this more because this reminded me more of a typical sporting event that I would go to compared to the lower bowl. My seat was still a bit higher on what is called the bridge. The bridges are sections of seats that just hang from the ceiling. I thought this was really cool, and some other arenas have now incorporated similar bridges as well. The seat itself was pretty comfortable, and it had great views. One thing I didn't like was this glass in front of my seat. I thought it was annoying, and it seemed a bit unnecessary.
After review, the board will determine as the following. It is a defensive foul.
And this isn't really the arena's fault, but someone near me smelled bad. It was horrendous. It really hampered my experience, so that sucked. The Garden had a wooden ceiling, which I thought was really cool because not too many other arenas have one. It was very smooth and clean looking. And it also had championship banners. The Knicks have a lot of retired numbers, so it looks like there are a lot of banners. But there really aren't. There are very few actual championship banners. A lot of these banners are for division titles and things that don't really matter. But this isn't just a Knicks problem. The Rangers have the same issue. The Knicks just won another title, so they get to put a real banner up there. But to make up for the lack of banners, they have concert banners. Of course, I came here for the basketball game, and it did not disappoint. Well, not really. You see, the Knicks got out to an early lead over the rival Celtics and never let up. The Celtics were missing Jaylen Brown, and the Knicks got another boost when Jason Tatum got ejected for hanging on the rim or complaining, or maybe both. I'm not sure why. It was kind of bizarre. But despite the game not being very close, this was still Knicks Celtics. Overall, I thought the crowd was pretty into it. They were mad about that call, but the Knicks won that challenge, and the crowd got happier again. It was also a sellout. So that was cool. Like every NBA arena nowadays, the Garden had some typical promotions, like the t-shirt toss, flags, and tumblers. Sometimes at the same time. And they also had a little kid game at halftime, you know, in case you want to watch even more basketball. Despite all of that really cool stuff, my absolute favorite part of this arena was the organ. Here, take a listen. It wasn't just the Knicks who played this cool organ. The Rangers played it too. As you probably guessed, my second game was a Rangers game. Now, to be honest, I had not planned on going to this game. But when I was in New York, the Rangers made a big trade for Blackhawks legend Patrick Kane. And at the time, I thought he would stick around for a while. The Rangers were good. It seemed like he wanted to be there. He was reunited with Panarin. It seemed like a great match. But that ended up not being the case. Kane wasn't much of a factor in this game, but I thought it was cool to see him anyways. Especially against Alex DeBrincat. Now, Derek Brassard, on the other hand, was a big factor. Early in the game, he was honored for playing in his 1,000th game. And then he proceeded to score not once, but twice. His second goal was awesome. A nice little spinorama in front of the net. Unfortunately, I did not get that on camera. If you'd like to see highlights from either the Knicks game or the Rangers game, the links to the highlights are in the description. Like the Knicks game, I also had glass in my face. But I thought it was worse this time because I couldn't maneuver around it. It was always in my face. But otherwise, it was a good seat, and nobody around me smelled bad. So that was great. However, unlike the Knicks game, this crowd was never into it. This was by far the quietest arena I have ever been to. And that was really disappointing. Nevertheless, this was still a close game, but the visiting Senators ended up victorious. After the game, I exited with everyone else and made my way into the Manhattan Night. And that was that. Hey, thank you so much for watching. If you have a favorite Madison Square Garden fact or memory or anything else you want to talk about, feel free to leave a comment. Also, if you have any recommendations on stadiums to visit, please let me know. Until then, I hope you have a great day.